having nothing to having everything, to having nothing to having everything, and finding yourself. I mean, a true story, a true hero story. And I want to thank you for coming on and sharing this with us. Thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to say that we all have that within us. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor.
Yeah. The hero's journey. There it is.
The hero's journey. Yeah. Everybody's got one.
Yeah. I hope you all enjoyed that. We'll see you later on Thursday. We got some big things coming up. I mean, we have tonight, right? What is tonight? Oh, nothing tonight, but tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye.
1470 AM and 95.3 FM. The Health and Wealth Radio Network.
Caregiver Solutions Info with Marcia Teal. Tuesdays at 5 p.m.
Talk 1470 AM and 95.3 FM WNN. Talk 1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton. The Health and Wealth Radio Network.
You can become independently healthy, and I'll tell you how. Dr. Bob Martin here. If you want to feel, function, and perform the very best you can, please tune in and call into my show Sunday mornings at 10 on Talk 1470 WNN.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences, including amputation. At the Sole Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts. Medicare recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the Sole Authority today, 954-597-7060.
A healthier you is the first step toward a healthy baby. When planning a pregnancy, baby steps toward better health can deliver big results. Exercising regularly and eating a balanced diet will help you reach or maintain a healthy weight and increase the likelihood of a healthy baby. Taking a multivitamin containing folic acid every day helps prevent birth defects, and regular medical and dental checkups are especially important when planning for pregnancy. To learn more about taking your baby steps toward a healthy pregnancy, call Florida's Family Health Line at 1-800-451-2229.
No child in Florida deserves to be bullied, and it's up to parents and adults to recognize the signs. I'm Andy Ford, president of the Florida Education Association. Torn clothes, bruises, loss of appetite, mood changes, or a reluctance to go to school. These all could be signs that a child is the victim of bullying. And as parents, as educators, as adults, we have the power to stand up and stop the bullying, fix it, and prevent it. If you're a parent, the teacher, the custodian, the aunt, the neighbor, or the coach, one caring adult can make all the difference. Take the pledge to be that adult at NEA.org/bullyfree. Students in Florida deserve more caring adults in their lives. That's NEA.org/bullyfree.
A message from the Florida Education Association.
Sergeant Alberto Velasco faced an uncertain future after serving his country.
At the age of 27, I was involved in a motor vehicle accident. Mentally and physically, I was just done. I don't know where I would be without Paralyzed Veterans.
Winston Woodard III, Paralyzed Veterans of America.
My job as a service officer is to ensure these veterans have what they need to thrive and move forward with their lives. And we are there providing expertise with VA benefits, assistance, and advocacy.
Thank you, Paralyzed Veterans.
Learn more at pva.org, a public service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.
This is Talk 1470.
Talk 1470.
WNN.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to the Golf and Travel Show, the place to fine-tune your swing, dress for the course, club, or cruise, and get tips on the best places to play and stay at the right price. Vacation or staycation, host Dan Schub, along with his expert co-hosts and guests, will tell you where to go. To play golf and vacation, that is. Now, here's Dan.
Welcome to the Golf and Travel Show. I'm your host, Dan Schub, and tonight, like we usually do, we're going to talk a little bit of golf. We're going to talk a bunch of travel tonight, and we are going to feature the Thousand Islands, where I just came back from. Actually, I just returned from New York, where the Thousand Islands are, in case many of you are not aware of that, as it seems many people are not aware of that. But I just got in this morning, actually, from downstate New York, but enjoyed my time up there in the Thousand Islands. And to help me out a little bit later in the show, we're going to be talking to some guests. Todd Bucco, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably not, but he's the general manager of where I stayed, my base of operations at the Thousand Islands Harbor Hotel. A beautiful place to stay. And as well as his concierge, Regina, she's going to be helping us out as well, talking a little bit about some of the things on dry land to do. There's plenty to do on land up in the Clayton, New York, Thousand Island area in that region. And then a little later in the show, we will be talking to Captain Ed Peters, who, when the weather's cold up north, he actually resides right here in Palm Beach County, but in the summers, he spends his time in Alexandria Bay, right next door to Clayton, and he is out there on the water with the Thousand Islands Water Taxi and Scenic Tours Company, and he was my captain and took me out there on the water to see actually there's more than 1,000 islands out there. They're shortchanging themselves. It's quite a bit more than just 1,000. It's the thousands, I guess, for a reason. And he just has a lot of information about the waterfront and the islands and some fascinating stories that I want to share with all of you. So we're going to be spending a lot of time talking about that because that was my 4th of July vacation. I know this is a strange holiday whereby the holiday started it was on a Wednesday, so some people celebrated last weekend into the middle of the week, some this coming weekend, but it's all good. Happy birthday to America, and I hope that you're all enjoying this holiday weekend, 2 weekends. But without further ado, I want to talk a little bit of golf because we're going to be talking so much travel. So I did want to mention that this week there's the military tribute at the Greenbrier. Of course, a couple of years ago they had those massive floods and rebuilt the golf course, and they're back playing there again. And also the women are playing on the Thornberry Creek LPGA Classic, so plenty of golf for those of you who want to watch on TV this weekend. Also, I wanted to have a shout out to the Naples Beach Hotel and Golf Club. They're featured this month as the feature golf course of the Florida Historic Golf Trail. Every month they feature a different golf course. I have had an opportunity to play at the Naples Beach Hotel and Golf Club. Naples is one of my favorite places to visit in the state of Florida. A lot of history there. It's a great golf course. It was renovated not long ago. So unlike some of these historic golf courses that are public courses and, you know, they're a little bit rough around the edges, I might say, but they do have tremendous history. But this particular golf course has been brought back to its original splendor. So I just want to congratulate them on that. Also, of course, coming up just around the corner, the week of July 15th to the 22nd is the Open Championship over at Carnoustie. So a lot of the players are getting ready for that as well. And then, of course, this week, the big news, it seemed, which just kind of was uncovered, I guess golf.com reported that it seems that there is a grudge match that's going to be held. The details are yet to be released, but I've heard that $10 million winner take all. Tiger Woods, of course, our own Jupiter Island resident, is going to be taking on Phil Mickelson. It seems it's going to be out in Las Vegas, which, of course, is a place that I do talk about quite a bit and visit quite frequently. I was making a bunch of plans today, actually, for my next couple of trips to Las Vegas. There couldn't be a better place for it. The way they're talking, it sounds like it's their own money, although my guess is, again, the details aren't out, that the sponsors will put up the money and plenty of us will tune in spite of the fact that neither of them are at the top of their game at this point. But they have a history of kind of dueling with one another, and they both like to bet a few bucks on a match. $10 million is quite a few bucks to be betting on a match, and people will tune in. They both, unfortunately, these days seem to be in the news more for the wrong reasons than the right reasons. But people like that. There's conflict, there's mystery, there's a little bit of a grudge involved. It seems to be the kind of thing that people will tune into, and if people tune in, then sponsors will put up money, and the networks will give them time, and this is all going to be unraveling and being unwrapped, I guess, for us pretty soon. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to just take a very, very, very quick break for me to catch my breath, and then what we're going to do is we're going to get started and be talking about the Thousand Islands Harbor Hotel, the place I recently stayed at, right on the St. Lawrence River, a beautiful place. You're not going to want to miss it, so we'll be right back. Stay tuned. And we are back. And like I say, I just got in this morning from New York, and I love New York, as the saying goes. Lived there the better part of my life, most of my life, and now I'm here in hot Florida. But the Northeast in New York has been enjoying some nice warm weather, and being out on the water is the best place to be. And to learn a little bit more about my base of operations, the place where I was happily staying and enjoying the beautiful waterfront scenery at the Thousand Islands Harbor Hotel, the general manager, Todd. And Todd, you're going to have to help me with your last name. So without further ado, Todd, help me with your last name.
It's Butchko.
Butchko, there you go. Thank you for that help, and thank you for joining us this evening.
I appreciate you having us.
And thanks for the wonderful hospitality. I have to say that not only is your property lovely, but all the folks that work there are incredibly friendly and just do a heck of a job, both for me as well as the other guests that I noticed. So kudos to you.
Well, thank you very much. I certainly appreciate it.
So why don't you explain to everybody first where you are, and then we could talk a little bit more about what you are, because as I've mentioned last week when I was talking a little bit in preparation for my trip, even people I know who live in New York, many of them still don't know where the Thousand Islands are.
Yeah, we're actually located, our hotel's located in Clayton, New York. So from the Thousand Islands, Alexandria Bay, kind of that surrounding area. We're 15 minutes from Alexandria Bay. In Clayton from New York City is probably about a 5.5 hour to 6 hour trip, depending on traffic. It's just a wonderful. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say you're less than a mile, I guess, from Canada, from Ontario, and Lake Ontario is just to the west of the St. Lawrence River or waterway?
That's correct. Yep. We're probably a little bit farther from Canada. I mean, Clayton to Canada is not that far, but it's about maybe a 10-minute drive. You can see the bridge, the Canadian bridge crossing right from our hotel, so it is very close.
Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, our guests after you, we're going to talk about all the wonderful things to do in the area on land and all the wonderful things to do in the water and on the islands. But being that I had such a nice stay at your hotel, the hotel, first of all, how long has it been in existence?
We've been here since 2014, so we're going on 4 years.
So relatively new amongst a lot of other properties that are not so new. I mean, you're the new game in town still.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're also, a AAA awarded property, a four Diamond Hotel, which makes it very unique in the area. So the next closest hotel is going to be probably in Syracuse, but you're not going to beat the beautiful water and the beautiful views, the sunsets and sunrises. They're never the same. Our property sits literally, yards away from the gorgeous river. So, you get everything you want here. You get the friendliness of the people. You get to walk right outside your back door, and you're walking right into town, with, other great shopping, great restaurants, and, great people to be around.
Very unusual to have the waterfront views, as you mentioned. From my room, I had a beautiful view, and it's a wide river. It's not like a little narrow, like a creek or something. I mean, this is a wide expanse of water, and it's absolutely beautiful. And like you said, I mean, it's literally no more than about a 2-minute walk into the middle of this historic town, which is just a lot of fun. For me, I know when you talk to the locals, they say, oh my goodness, you should have seen it years ago. Boy, have things changed. But when I look at it, this is like historic, old town where you walk down the street and it seems everybody knows one another, and it's just a very refreshing change. You talk about New York and people think about New York City. This is the furthest from that.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's as slow as pace as you're going to get, rather than a fast pace of New York. I mean, if you're looking for, a 2-day getaway, just from everything, I mean, this is the place to come to. You're going to be made to feel so comfortable. It's inviting. Our service is we're going to be waiting on you hand and foot, and making sure that all your worries are away. And then you just get to walk down the river walk and, get an ice cream. People are going to wave to you. They're going to say hi to you. But, it's 100 times slower, but it's just absolutely stunning. And it's great to be around. There's amazing boats. We have docks right behind our hotel. So if you're boating from Florida, you can boat in here from Florida. There's 42 slips out there. They're high tech. They have water hookups, high speed, wireless internet, electric. In the beautiful boathouse, everything you need is right here. If you're a boater, this is the best place to be. If you're a fisherman, this is the best place to be. If you've ever wanted to fish the elusive muskie, we have the best muskie fishing in the world.
Wow.
And,
I've never even heard of him. He's that elusive.
It's very difficult to catch. Yeah, if you get one, it is like probably winning the U.S. Open.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, if you get one, I don't know if you would cook it for somebody, but I have to say I did have an opportunity to dine in your restaurant, and what a great place.
Yeah, we're very our restaurant's wonderful. The Seaway Grill. We have the Thousand Islands Bar, so we have both indoor and outdoor dining. We've got a beautiful patio, beautiful pergolas, 2 large fire pits. We have an amazing culinary team. Our chef is from Switzerland, and we have an amazing sous chef and banquet chef, and they do a great job. And we've created a menu that hopefully hits everybody's appetites, but we change the menu once a year and, try to keep it a lot of traditional food and try to, also bring in the river with, the different fish that are available. We have a really, really good team out here, and we really enjoy, the guests that come to visit, because the patio is where everybody wants to be.
Now, I know that many of the businesses in the area don't stay open through the winter, but you guys are open year-round, right?
Yeah, we're open 365 days of the year, so we never shut down. In the winter season, we try to do a lot of fun activities. In December they have a great Christmas show here. They do a parade down the street. It brings in probably 5,000 to 8,000 people. We do in February, we do our ice fire and ice bar event, where it brings in roughly, probably last year was about 2,800 people. We do it for 3 days, and we bring in about 30,000 pounds of ice and turn our entire back patio into ice luges and draft beer, champagne bars, all made out of anywhere between 2,500 to 5,000 pounds of ice. We have interactive pieces that you can sit on a snowmobile that's made out of 4,000 pounds of ice. So it's a great event. We have food and drink inside, wine tasting, craft beer tasting, whiskey tasting, and then it's part of the proceeds are donated to a charity that we usually do, which is working with the Fort Drum and the New York State Troopers.
Now, I might not think too many people would come for a special event in the dead of winter. I'm guessing that maybe it's more local folks, but how about like weddings and things like that? In the summer, I'm thinking that it's a good destination, kind of a place for a wedding.
Oh yeah, we have again a tremendous setting. I mean, you can get married outside, overlooking the beautiful patio and the sunset. Lucky enough, they say it's the best. It's the luck, the best luck ever to have one of the large freighters pass by while you're getting married and doing your vows. So there's been a few lucky ones, but we do weddings up to 250 inside, and then we also have space to do tent weddings, which can range anywhere from 100 to 500. So it's just, like I said, it's a stunning place. It's a stunning place to do it year round too. But in the summertime, it's in the fall time.
Well, you're talking to a guy who's been living in Florida for 25 years, so I'm just a little hesitant in the dead of winter myself. But
sure.
it's a bit rough for us Florida people. But this time of year, I mean, just absolutely gorgeous. Now, what about like in the fall? I would think that the leaves and stuff, it might be. Is there a particular season where people come up to watch the leaves change?
Depending, it's right now. It just depends, and they usually watch when the leaves are starting to change. But it usually happens mid-September, so usually like that third week of September to probably the first 2 weeks of October. That's probably the prime time for seeing the leaves change up here. And again, the water, the leaves turning, it's sensational. I mean, you're not going to find better places, within the driving distance to see the beauty that you can and still dine outside and just feel the cool breeze. It's really quite amazing.
Well, we were expecting Regina to be calling in around now, your concierge, but she hasn't called yet. So maybe we need to change gears a little bit between you and me and talk a little bit about some of the other things that are going on and some of the things that I experienced on land, because in a little while we've got Captain Ed Peters from the Thousand Islands Water Taxi and Tour to talk about the waterfront and the islands, which of course is just magnificent. And he gave me a tour, and like no other. He really knows what's going on out there on the water. So, but on land, I did have an opportunity to, I went to the Clayton Distillery, and that was a lot of fun. I tasted, they featured, these Slurpee, these lemonade type Slurpee things, and, just delicious, but they made all different kinds of liquor. We had vodka, they had moonshine, just all things flavored with maple. Of course, I guess maple syrup in the area is pretty popular as well, being right there on the Canadian border. So that was a lot of fun. And what about the wineries? I had a chance to go to one of the wineries. I went to the Otter Creek Winery, but people may not realize what's going on up there.
Yeah, it really is starting to grow. I mean, every year since I've been here, the 4 years, I've seen, little wineries and distilleries and craft beer places just kind of popping up. There's one of the big wineries local here is Coyote Moon. They're very well known in the area and surrounding areas. They're award-winning winery as well, and they have a great place downtown that you can go in and do the wine Slurpees. They've got a great little restaurant there too, and then about probably 3 miles outside of town, they've got their winery where they do a lot of events throughout the year as well. There's Tug Hill Winery as well, that's locally within probably a 10-mile driving distance. You have Cape Winery that's within a driving distance, and there's just little wineries popping up, all over, as well as St. Lawrence Spirits. This is a new distillery as well, and they actually, part of their process is using the river water and being able to put that into making their vodkas and their gins and whiskeys, being something quite unique that most people may not even think. So there's a lot of really great things happening here. Woodbowl Brewery is new. They make their own craft beers. Got a great little restaurant too. So there's a lot of things happening here. And really, if you enjoy food, if you enjoy different types of cocktails, I mean, for the town, this is probably some of the best eating you're going to find.
And, of course, while I did enjoy eating at the hotel, I did get a chance to sample a couple of the other places. I had a wonderful breakfast at a place called Bella's right there on the water. Just beautiful. I sampled happy hour at a place called the Channel Side, which was also right there riverfront. I did not get a chance to check out a couple of the museums that probably people would be interested in. I know that the Antique Boat Museum is very popular, as well as the Thousand Island Museum is quite popular as well.
Yeah, the Antique Boat Museum is amazing, and if people are at all interested in wooden boats and where they started from, and Clayton and the Antique Boat Museum, it is probably one of that you could count on a handful that actually does restorations of wooden boats. People from around the world come to Clayton, in August as well when they do the Antique Boat Show. And people from all over the world come here just to be able to purchase these amazing wooden boats that are, very hard to come by. This place has a large museum with a contingency of tons of volunteers that know everything about these amazing boats. So it's a great place to come.
Also, just about a block or so away is the Clayton Opera House, and I didn't see too many operas there, but you do have lots of shows and concerts and other kinds of events going on there.
Yeah, it's they don't do I think it's just more of the name of the actual facility, but yeah, they have events year round. And they have lots of different concerts, ranging anywhere from jazz to bluegrass, to they just had the Big Bad Voodoo Daddies there, so they do have a lot of great music throughout the time that they're there, and they usually start up in, I would say, April, and they have stuff all the way through till September. With all different types of music, so it's a great place, and it brings a lot of people to the area as well throughout the year. So
now, I did not get a chance to play golf, but there were several golf courses in the area for those folks that just have to play golf wherever they go, right?
Absolutely, yeah. There's a great golf course that's the Seaway Resort Golf Course, which is located just right outside of Clayton, less than a 5-minute driving distance. There's also Wellesley Island, that has a really beautiful, beautiful golf course that you can golf right along the river. Out through Wellesley Island.
I did take a drive over there and I took a look at it, and it looked quite pretty, and I didn't even see the holes that were on the water, so I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's a wonderful golf course, and they've got a restaurant right on their facility as well, so anything that you need is right at your fingertips.
Well, I think we've covered quite a bit. So the bottom line is if people are interested in checking out the area, my recommendation, of course, is that you're a perfect spot to be the anchor, so to speak, of the trip. But if people want to learn a bunch more about what's going on, if they'd like to book rooms, if they'd like to look into booking an event or a wedding, I'm guessing that your website is probably the best place for them to go.
Absolutely. If they go to our website and call us as well, we'll be able to direct them to any person that they need and make sure that they're well taken care of.
Okay, so the website is 1000, the numeral 1000, Islands, plural, harborhotel.com. It gets a little confusing with
right.
But that's the way it is, and it's very informative, it's very easy, and you can book your room straight there, and of course you can get the phone number there so that you can make a phone call and find out more information as well. And there's plenty of time left this summer still before the cold weather comes. But, of course, if you're down here in Florida and you're looking to cool off, then you may want to wait until further into the fall or into the winter. But right now the weather is absolutely beautiful. I saw all the young kids swimming in the river, even though the temperature was a little colder than I would want. But the kids love it. I just could not believe how many people were swimming in the water. The water was nice and clean, and everybody was having fun. So it's not just a great place for adults to go have fun, but if you've got younger kids, if you have a family, they're all going to have a good time at the Thousand Islands Harbor Hotel. So make sure you go check it out. All right, what I think we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk more about the waterfront area and the islands with Captain Ed. Hopefully he'll be able to get the message and call in properly, and we'll talk about that. But I want to thank you so much for telling us about your hotel and for serving as my base of operations for my trip this 4th of July week.
Well, we appreciated having you there, and I appreciate you having us on your radio show.
Great. Thank you
very much.
Thank you so much, Todd. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more of the Golf and Travel